You're watching Horror News Network.
So can you start off telling us a little bit about how you became involved in the project and what initially attracted you? Were you a big fan of any of the Alien franchise?
Yes. I mean, I'm not 45 years old, but the franchise has been around 45 years. I've always loved Alien. People in my family have too, so the action, horror, sci-fi element. But I'm a voice actor professionally, so castings get sent out. They get sent out under code names. So I had no idea this was Alien, part of the franchise. And so as we kept going deeper into the bookings, I booked it, and I saw the name Zula. I said, Zula? That sounds familiar. Zula Hendricks, that sounds really familiar. Went back and realized it was from 8 years ago in the comics. So that's how I found out that I was going to be Zula. And once I found out, I was like, okay, this is going to be something else, you know. So I got started.
Are you a horror movie geek?
No, definitely not a geek. I'm a little. I feel like life is horror enough sometimes, so real talk. But I do enjoy a little scare every once in a while.
So do you actually get to play through the scenes that you're doing the voice work for, or do you just get the script list and like, all right, this is my motivation for this scene? You don't actually have to see the horror going on.
I don't actually see it, but they do give me context, and sometimes they'll give me the art, key art, because right now it's still in development. So what they do really well at Servios is they give me context. Here's what happened before, here's why, here's our intention. This process has been really collaborative, so it's not just me on the glass and the engineer, it's the director, it's the writers in the room, the creators in the room, sometimes the person doing the scores in the room, so I'm actually able to understand the intention, the why, and then where we're going in the story. So that's very, very helpful.
Can you tell us a little bit about your character and your process of getting involved with the character, becoming the character?
Yes. Zula Hendricks is someone who I think has mastered the art of the pivot. You know, she was kind of a street urchin kid. She pivoted to being in the Marine Corps. She was injured, and she pivoted to being someone who's a combatant just for the greater good for humanity, for her friends, for Davis One. She's on a mission to rescue her friend and to do what's right. So she's fighting many battles. She's fighting against Xenomorphs, of course. She's fighting against corporate greed. She's fighting her own personal demons, and she's also, fighting a body that's under duress. And so I think that invisible disability is something a lot of people in regular life are facing that we don't talk about. So she's doing all these things all the while trying to save humanity. So I think her being resolute, her being on this heroic quest but not being a superhero, her being, resolute but not being invincible, these are all what makes her a fully formed character, what makes it really exciting to bring to life.
Was there anything you found you were surprised to learn about yourselves as you kind of were able to peel back layers?
That's a good question. I think what's really surprising in voice acting sessions is when you get stumped or stuck, having a director who can say, try it this way, and here's why, and then you do it, you're like, oh, snap. All it took was, a redirect or even a reference to something else, or even a reference to something in the past of the franchise. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Take yourself to this scene in this movie, and then being able to replicate or create the sensation they want to create. So that's been pretty surprising.
Thank you for watching Horror News Network.